Hello, and welcome to another edition of Insight. Insight is a community affairs program of Cox Communications. Today's show will spotlight girls and women, with a special emphasis on peer pressure and the media. I'm Valerie Bogar, and this is Insight. You know what, girls, how about you guys tell our viewers a little bit about yourself?
My name is Mariella. I go to Fort Walton Beach High School. I'm a junior. I'm 16, and I paint.
You're 16, do you drive?
I wish.
You wish?
I wish.
Okay, I'm Kiara. I go to Choctaw, and I'm 14. I'm a freshman, and I'm in the Style Marchers, and we have state in about 4 weeks, so I'm really excited about that.
That's awesome.
Hi, my name is Katie. I am in the 8th grade at Liza Jackson Preparatory School, and my birthday is in 2 days.
So what are you going to do special for your birthday?
I already had my birthday party 2 weeks ago because I have a best friend who shares the same birthday with me, and we share the same friends, so she was like, I'm going to have my birthday this weekend, so I was like, okay.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Is there anything you've noticed about the show a little bit different, you know, who's sitting here?
Yeah, we're like all girls.
We're all girls, exactly. Girls are awesome. But we're going to talk about girls' issues and what is it like to be a girl in 2011. And I know you guys are all different ages, so you're 16 and you two you're about to be 14, right?
Yeah.
Like in a couple of days. And I'm 25, so I'll be saying my opinion, you know, for like college age kids, and then you can say your opinion. You're in middle school, right? Mm-hmm. And then high school. Yeah. But I think the first topic we're going to discuss today is teen dating. And what's it like, you know, in teen dating, and I think it's important for our viewers to look at, you know, for our parents, and what it's like to have a teenage girl, and especially when they're going to talk to them about teen dating. So, do you guys feel pressure about dating?
Very.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of pressures do you guys deal with? Is it from school or parents?
Friends that you hang out with in general, they always like, look at my boyfriend, look at my girlfriend, and then they just seem more happy, and I'm like, dang.
Do you think they're happier being, you know, dating?
Yes,
Do you
they
feel like that?
They have this other side of happiness. Like, they have everything, but they have something more. And I'm like, wish I had that.
What about you guys?
I think it's like pressure from yourself. Like, I think that's right. Pressure from yourself, because like you feel like you want to have a relationship going on.
You just want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you did, you'll have, you know, you feel super
Yeah,
happy.
you'd be
and-
happy and you
Yeah.
have security.
Well, it's like Mariella said, when you see your friends, it's like, oh, I wish I had that. But at the same time, it's like, well, is it right to do it? Is it right to date? So, I don't know. It's kind of contradictory.
I think that brings me to my next question to ask you guys. Do you think you're mature enough to date?
Whew. No. There's too much heartache at the end. If y'all, like, if you break up, you're going to be just miserable for a while. And I'm like, why would I want to go through that when I'm not ready?
So you think you're not mature because you can't handle the breakup afterwards?
Not at all.
Okay. What about you?
Well, I think it's like other people aren't mature. Like, maybe you feel you're mature, but like the other person you're dating doesn't feel mature enough.
Well, like Mariella said, after the breakup, I mean, if it's you that's breaking up with them, you shouldn't be sad. I mean, you have a reason to break up with that person. But, I mean, if you were dumped, it's like, I don't know, it's like a whole different perspective. I would say most people, most kids, don't have the maturity level to date, and I know I don't.
You know. But shouldn't y'all be focusing on schoolwork and not really about dating? I know you think about it like in the school. I remember what it was like when I was in high school, and that's all people think about, who's going out with who. But I mean, with you guys, don't you think you should be focusing more on your schoolwork than?
Yeah. Because I mean, you get sidetracked from your schoolwork, and then you're important. Like, when is he gonna call me? I think he's about to text me, and I'm like, or is your grade that's dropping in class more important? And it's just like should I risk my relationship with this guy or should I focus on my work and make my parents happy?
I
So,
think dating is like an extracurricular activity.
Good way to put it, extracurricular. Because your number one concern should be what?
School and grades.
So how would you deal with it, you know, talking to your friends, you know, who wants to date and they're talking about it? I mean, would you just jump right into it, or would you actually be brave enough to say, hey, you know, I don't think you're mature enough, you maybe should be focusing on
Very.
schoolwork?
Well, I mean, I have a friend who doesn't date, but she kind of seeks boys a little bit, but she is very mature for her age. And so, I mean, when she asks for advice, you know, I'll give it to her from what I know, you know, if that helps her or not, which I probably can't help her. But it's, you know, depends on the person.
Yeah. I have a question to ask you, a little bit more serious. Do you know anybody who's like been treated, especially girls, because we're talking about girls, who've been treated poorly in a relationship, especially at y'all's age?
all the time.
All the time? Like what?
It's like the dude would be like, yeah, I like her, and we're, like they're dating, and then they're in the hallways holding hands, but then he'll turn his head and look at this other girl down the hall, and then they feel like, oh, they're just another chick. But no, it's more than that. If you're dating the girl, you should treat her like you're with her. Like, you don't just act like, oh, she's just one of the girls I'm talking to.
So you think that's another case why maybe
Yes.
maturity, you know, not everybody's at that level?
Yes.
So what would you say to a girl who's in a relationship and the guy isn't, you know, treating them correctly? What should the girl do?
Talk to him.
Talk to him first. I mean, you need to find out if
What's going on.
he's committed to it or if he's just like iffy about the whole thing.
This actually happened to me, to one of my friends actually, today. Her boyfriend was being rude to me and a couple of her other friends, and we were telling him, you know, you're really being a jerk. You know, you're not being cool to hang around. You know, you think it's cool, you think it's fun, it's not. It hurts. You know, he would call me names, you know, I'd be like, okay, we're joshing around, but then it got to the point where it was like, you know, it was kind of like, okay, that really hurts, you know. I'm aware of my weight problem, I'm working on it, but it was like, he kept bringing it back up, and it was like, okay, this is kind of being hurtful now. So then she would be like, we told her, and we were like, Hannah, we don't think this is, you know, a good thing, and so she was like, I'm tired of this, you know? She's like, I'm tired of him mistreating my friends, and I'm tired of him talking inappropriately.
You know what, you brought up some good points, and I think a lot of times with girls, women and teen girls, they want to change themselves for the guys. The guys say something, and, you know, like you said, you know, maybe about weight or how they look, and then the girls want to change themselves. And I'm going to say, you know, advice to girls and women out there, you shouldn't change yourself for the guy. And women have the power to say no. If someone is saying something, or if you're with somebody who's mistreating you, you don't have to be with this person. And I think women have a tendency to be a little bit more forgiving when it comes to things. Guys, you know, if a girl does something they don't like, they feel like that they can dump the person pretty quick. Girls are like, well, I'll give him another chance, or he'll change, or I'll change. It's something, you know, we can do. And I think if women realize that they need to be with a respectful man, and if he's respectful and he's good, and you are respectful and you're good, then, you know, you guys are right for each other. But if you're not, then you shouldn't be with that person. And you should hold yourself to a higher standard. I think that's a lot of things that girls don't do. And if you hold yourself to a higher standard, then you will expect more out of a guy. And I think they would treat you a lot better in that case. I know we're getting kind of close to a break, but I'm going to ask you one final question. Do you think boys prefer a smart girl or a pretty girl?
Pretty.
A pretty girl.
Most
Pretty girl.
24/7.
Definitely pretty.
And where do you think this comes from? I mean, why do you think a guy, in your opinion, would want more of a pretty girl than a smart girl?
Because they don't think, like, the girl has something smart to say. Like, oh, she's really pretty. And then he'll just probably talk about her looks 24/7, never ask her, like, oh, so what do you like? And then if she says something smart, he'd be like, okay, wow, you're really pretty. He'll just go back to the pretty stuff and not really think about
Like a turn off.
Exactly.
It's a thing of the flesh. Like, our body wants the eye candy, you know, but you have to step back from the eye candy, and you have to force yourself to look beyond that, because I mean, it also has stuff to do with the media, because you look at celebrities today and they just get plastic surgery and they try to make themselves look prettier when their inner beauty could be, you know, they could look so gorgeous on the outside on the red carpet, but could they really, you know, have a hideous inside? Beauty should be something within, not from the outside.
You brought up some great points, especially talking about the media, and it seems that boys should, you know, behave a certain way, and girls should look a certain way. And I think a lot of times too, girls wouldn't mind dating a guy who was not so attractive, but for guys it seems to be, that has to be like the standard, which is really, really sad. And I think we should look into that and figure out. And I know that there's a video, a clip we're going to watch on the next segment in a second here after our break. And it's about misrepresentation. And that's a documentary. And Oprah, she talked about it. And it's about how women are portrayed in the media. And I'm sure we've seen it, and I'm sure you all seen it in the commercials. Guys can wear, you know, they're totally covered, they don't have to look that gorgeous, but a woman has to be, it was like the perfect shape for a girl, you know, like you have to be size 4 and long hair. I mean, that seems to be the standard. And it's sad because that's what the media seems to put out there, and then that's what girls seem to think that's what's expected of them, and then guys think the same thing, that's expected of them. So before the break, do you guys have any last things to say about that, like relationships or?
Choose wisely.
Choose wisely. Yes. All right, you guys, you heard it from these girls, and we'll be right back, and we're going to talk about more about the media.